Guys, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be predicting some FIFA 18 Ultimate Team ratings and overall ratings for Tigres U.A.N.L. If you want to see more player predictions ratings in any team in any league, just leave suggestions in the comments. But we're going to be starting with Tigres for the first episode. And the first player who I will be predicting is Nahuel Guzman, the goalkeeper. Probably one of the best goalkeepers in America, is one of the best goalkeepers Argentina has. He has been caught up to play with Argentina. He hasn't played too much, but I feel like he might be one of the best goalkeepers in La Liga MX, if not the best. This man has saved Tigres from so much, and he's just an all-around great goalkeeper with his feet. And in the air, this man's amazing, so I feel like his rating will be an 80 next season. Then moving on to the defense, we have two center backs. One of them is Anselmo Vendrechowski, your Niño. I feel like this man's rating, he'll be one of the few players who gets downgraded for Tigres. Just because of his age, I feel like he's got to be a little bit slower than what he used to be. So he's a little bit late on tackles. His passes aren't as precise. His timing isn't as great as it used to be. But then again, he still has that great shot that he's always had. He has a mind for defending. He's just not as quick as he used to be, so he gets beat quite often. So I feel like that's why his rating will go down just by one. He still has that starting 11 spot just because he has El Tuca's trust. But I feel like he will be retiring at the end of this year, so his rating will most likely be going down as well. And then the center back next to him, U.A.N.L, his partner in crime for like the past 6 years. So I feel like his rating, he's one of the most undervalued center backs in the whole world, honestly. This man, I think he deserves the gold card. He's been deserving a gold card for the longest time. I feel like his rating next year will be a 77 with all those attribute updates and everything, because he's been a great defender for Tigres. They call him El Tiempista, which is a perfect timer. This man has great slide tackling, great passing, great dribbling. He goes up, he finishes the play, has great heading. This guy's great all around. So I feel like his rating should go up by at least these 3 points. Hopefully he does get this upgrade, because he's really undervalued, and if you see him play in real life, this man is just amazing. And then moving on to the right back position, we have Luis Rodriguez, El Chaka Rodriguez. This man did not play much last season, the Apertura, and I feel this season he has earned his spot in the starting 11. I feel like his rating will go up by 2 to a 72. Just because of that, getting the spot after not playing, and then keeping that spot, helping Tigres, get into the final that they're in right now, where they will be playing Chivas. In the left back, we have Jorge Torres Nilo, probably one of the best left backs Mexico has. This man, he's a very physical player, great at defending. This guy plays for the jersey, plays for the team, along with all the other players on the squad. He's probably one of the few players who's still like old-fashioned type of player. He's rough, he's strong, he's very quick, he just gives his all in all the games. So I feel like his rating will go up by 1 to a 73, just because of pretty much all the Tigres defense has had a great season. So he'll be one of those few players who will not one of the few, but he'll be one of the players who will also get an upgrade to 73, as you can tell on the screen. And then moving on to Ido Bizarro, the center defensive mid, who I feel will get an 80 rating this season, FIFA 18 next season, because he has the highest passage percentage, the most touches the whole league, one of the highest playing times. This guy, he's pretty much the Conte of La Liga MX. This man is just great for Tigres. He has played for Argentina, and they loved him in Argentina with the selección. So I feel like this man, he will either not last too long in Tigres before he goes off to Europe. He is 26, 27 years old, so he probably won't go to Europe just because of his age alone. But this man is like great quality, that's why I feel like his rating will go up by 3 points to an 80. I wouldn't go anywhere over 80, because I know there is like players who, like Conte, who probably won't get that much higher rating, and I wouldn't say he's as good as Conte, but it's just like the cheap Conte. Honestly, this guy's amazing. He is the engine alongside Jesus Dueñas for Tigres, who I think Jesus Dueñas will have a big upgrade from a 72 to a 78, 6 points. I feel like this will not happen, but I feel like it should, just because Tigres, I mean, like, just because of the league they play in. The 78 was because he's just probably been the best center midfielder like in Mexico, like the best Mexican center midfielder, and in the league as well. Like the Tigres midfield and defense has just been amazing. They've had a few problems with the forwards, but they have been able to resolve those quickly. You know, that stuff has been fixed. I feel like his rating was 78. And then a man who gets criticized quite a while because he does not score many goals, but some people don't know the position that he's in. Plays that center attacking midfielder, even though he plays like winger, like striker with Chile. He plays a center attacking midfield spot with Tigres. He's more of that passing, make space, like for the rest of his teammates, and like Gignac and those players. So I feel like his rating will stay the same. And then moving on to the left mid spot, we have Javi Aquino. He's one of the best left mids for Mexico and in the Liga MX for Tigres as well. I feel like his rating will go up 2 points. He's had a great season, even though he did not play much. He was a fundamental part last season, helping Tigres win the Liga MX and then into the final again. Tigres has had so many finals in less than a year, so I feel like he'll be rating 78. And then moving on to the right mid spot, we have Ismael Sosa. I feel like his rating will stay the same, just because he hasn't done pretty much anything special, and he hasn't underperformed either. You know, is right where pretty much we want him. So I feel like his rating will be a 77. And then a player who I feel probably won't get an upgrade, but if he does, he'll be Gignac at 83, because during the season he doesn't score many goals. He did tie for the second spot just because he scored 3 goals in the last game of the season, and he has had like an amazing playoffs. So I feel like his rating, if it did, it would go up to an 83. And moving on to the substitutes, we have Luis Quiñones. I feel like his rating will stay the same at a 75, just because you know, he hasn't got himself any starting point, like starting 11, but he hasn't underperformed when they put him in. So I feel like his rating will stay the same. Nothing will change about his card, in my opinion. So maybe a 4-star skill moves because he's quite skillful, or like a flair attribute. But this guy, I mean, there's nothing to change about him. And one player who probably, he's on and off starting 11 is between him and Vargas. You know, they fight for that spot. And right now Vargas is injured, so he is taking over that spot. Lucas Elarayan, who I feel also should get an upgrade in his weak foot. He has 4-star, so I feel like he'll have a rating of a 76. That's what I'm predicting, just because he's been a fundamental part for Tigres. You know, he's a very skillful player. He's a showboat of a player. He's a great player. You know, he has the crowd standing. You know, he just puts on a show. He's a great player, you know. That's why his rating will go up by 2 points. And then in the right mid spot, we have one of the paciest players in FIFA and in the world, Julian Lamb, who I feel his rating will be a 76 next season for Tigres. That's if he stays with Tigres and doesn't move on to Europe, because there is a lot of rumors that he will be going to Europe in this coming up season. Hopefully he stays with Tigres, but if he does, or in FIFA 18, his rating will be a 76. In my opinion, he's had great past two seasons for Tigres. He's very undervalued by like Mexican fans, but Tigres have noticed to praise him, and you know, he's been a great player. And then another undervalued center back, Francisco Meza. I feel like this guy will have a 75 rating. He's just a great player, great interceptions. This man's very strong in the air and on the ground, so I feel like that's why his rating will be a 75 next season, max, because if, I mean, he could get a 74, 75, and I feel like that'd be fair. And then a player who kind of lost his starting 11 spot to Luis El Chaca Rodriguez, but right now he's playing that left back position because Acosta and Torres Nilo injured. I feel like his rating will stay the same. You know, he hasn't got any worse, but he hasn't got bad just because he's lost starting 11. Just that the other players are coming in strong. And the fact that he is playing in a different position, I feel like his rating will stay the same. And then Israel Jimenez, a man who hasn't really played much this season, Clausura, I feel like his rating will go down either to 71 or 70. Just the fact that he's been injured, he hasn't been able to play. So yeah, he might bring his rating down to 71. And then a man who is reaching the peak of his career. I mean, he's pretty old already. 38 years old already. Damian Alvarez is a legend, club legend. He helped the team reach their third championship, and the first in 30 years. So I feel like this guy is just he's loved by the fans. He's loved by his teammates. So, and he's had a great season, even though despite his age. So I feel like his rating will go up to 72 despite his age. He really hasn't changed much when he first got to Tigres. You know, he still plays the same. That's why I feel like his rating will probably go up. Then a player who also hasn't played much this season, like Israel Jimenez, is Jose Rivas. He's been injured as well pretty much the whole season, so I feel like his rating will go down to 70 just because of the fact that he hasn't played. So yeah, that's why I think his rating's gonna go down. And then a player who has had a position change pretty much, Alberto Acosta. I feel like his rating will be a 69 in a left back position because that's what he has played this season for Tigres. When he does play, that's what they play him as when they need him. So I feel like his rating will be a 69 and with that position change. And then a player who could probably get a starting 11 spot in any team in Mexico, but is very undervalued, Enrique Palos. He's not the best goalkeeper, but I feel like his rating will be a 69. I feel like they undervalue these second and third string keepers just because they don't play much, just because they don't get the chance, because, you know, goalkeepers don't get injured as much. I feel like his rating will be 69 next season. And Aaron Fernandez, the man who got his chance in the Liga MX after 10 years of waiting in Tigres. I feel like his rating should go up to 68. He did play a few games with Tigres in the Clausura because players like Nahuel and Enrique Palos got injured. He got his chance, and I feel like he did great, and I feel like his rating should be a 68, just one under Palos, you know, because he really couldn't tell the difference. And then a player who also hasn't played, but when he does a great job, is Miguel Torres. I feel like his rating will stay the same at a 69, despite him not playing. And yeah, that's why I feel like Tigres predictions for next season. If you guys have any more predictions that you want me to do, please leave a comment below. Just tell me, and I'll be trying my best to do them. Even if I don't watch, you know, those games, I'll still try to do them. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Tell me what you think